vocal cords ready, blood sugar replenished. Let the show begin!
Hey everyone, welcome to Farina Impact, your go-to channel for Genshin leaks and updates. Today, we've got an exciting video lined up as we dive deep into one of the most anticipated characters of the 5.3 update, Citlali. If you've been keeping an eye on the leaks, you already know how much hype is building around her, and for good reason. As a 5-star Cryo Catalyst user, her kit is packed with powerful abilities, utility, and plenty of potential for creative team compositions. Let's get into everything we know so far, from her abilities to her constellations, and how her kit may change the way we play. But before starting the video, consider subscribing this channel and like this video for more audience reach. Alright, first things first, Citlali is all about elemental mastery. Not only does she wield the cryo element, but she also leverages her catalyst weapon to deal cryo DMG from a distance with a versatile, reaction-heavy playstyle. She's designed to fit into many teams as a DPS or sub-DPS, while also supporting her teammates with shields and buffs. If you're someone who loves triggering elemental reactions like Frozen or Melt, then Citlali is definitely a character you'll want on your roster. Let's break down her kit, starting with her normal attack called Shadow Stealing Spirit Vessel. It's a basic series of up to 3 cryo-infused strikes. Pretty straightforward, right? But her charged attack is where things get more interesting. She enters an aiming mode where she can hold to charge a Frost Star, which deals cryo DMG to enemies in its path. What's great about this attack is its flexibility. It allows you to control the battlefield, lining up enemies for a focused cryo attack that can set up elemental reactions perfectly. And don't forget her plunging attack, which causes AoE cryo DMG when she dives down from mid-air. Now let's talk about her elemental skill, Dawn Frost Darkstar. This is one of the core aspects of her kit and something that sets her apart from other cryo characters. When she uses this skill, she summons Its Papa, a creature from her tribe's ancient lore, dealing AoE cryo DMG. At the same time, she generates an opal shield that scales with her elemental mastery, offering protection while absorbing cryo damage with 250% efficiency. The shield is useful for tanking damage, especially in situations where you're dealing with cryo-based enemies or attacks. What makes Dawnfrost Darkstar even more unique is the Night Soul points mechanic. When she uses her elemental skill, Citlali gains 24 Night Soul points and enters the Night Soul's blessing state. As long as she's in this state, she can build up to 50 Night Soul points. At that point, Its Papa enters Opal Fire, continuously dealing cryo damage to enemies around her in an AoE fashion. The longer you can maintain this state, the more consistent damage you'll deal, making Its Papa a powerful ally on the field. Managing her Night Soul points is essential for keeping up the damage, especially in longer battles or boss fights. Next, let's take a look at her elemental burst, Edict of Entwined Splendor. This ability is massive, both in terms of damage and utility. Citlali summons an icy storm that deals area of effect cryo damage while also restoring a set amount of Night Soul points. But that's not all. She also summons Spirit Vessel skulls near enemies. These skulls explode after a short time, dealing more cryo DMG and restoring even more Night Soul points. This burst is incredible for resetting her Night Soul points and allowing her to re-enter the Opal Fire state faster. Whether you're facing hordes of enemies or just focusing down a single boss, Edict of Entwined Splendor is going to be a key ability to manage throughout the fight. Now that we've gone over her main abilities, let's talk about her passive talents. The first one, 5 Days of Frigid Rain, adds a lot of value to her kit when you're playing around reactions like Frozen and Melt. When nearby party members trigger these reactions, the Pyro and Hydro RES of the affected enemies decreases by 20% for 12 seconds, allowing your team to deal more damage. Additionally, Citlali restores 16 Night Soul points, which is crucial for keeping up her Opal Fire state. This passive talent works really well in teams built around reaction-based gameplay, so if you're running characters like Hu Tao or Xing Qiu, this will give you a big damage boost. Her second passive, White Butterfly's Star Garments, boosts its Papa's Frostfall Storm damage by 90% of Citlali's elemental mastery. Additionally, her Elemental Burst's Ice Storm DMG gets a huge increase, 2,400% of her elemental mastery. This makes stacking elemental mastery on Citlali incredibly valuable. The higher her elemental mastery, the more damage she can dish out, especially with her Its Papa and Elemental Burst abilities. It's also worth noting that when your party triggers Night Soul bursts, Citlali restores 4 Night Soul points, which helps maintain her uptime in battle. Let's move on to her Constellations, which offer even more powerful upgrades to her kit. At C1, Citlali gains the Opal Star Vestments effect when using her Elemental skill, which grants her Stellar Blades. These blades increase the damage of nearby allies based on Citlali's elemental mastery. This makes her a fantastic character for reaction-based teams, as she can provide consistent buffs to her team's damage output. Additionally, at C2, Citlali and her teammates shielded by her Opal Shield gain elemental mastery, further enhancing their ability to trigger strong elemental reactions. Her C6 is where things really get crazy. It allows Its Papa to stay in the Opal Fire state permanently, even when her Night Soul points are depleted. This means you'll have Its Papa dealing consistent AoE Cryo DMG throughout the entire battle, without worrying about managing Night Soul points. On top of that, Its Papa now grants nearby teammates Pyro, Hydro, and Cryo DMG bonuses, making Citlali an amazing support character for reaction-based teams. With this constellation, you're essentially boosting the entire team's damage potential while dealing massive Cryo AoE damage at the same time. Now let's take a look at her signature weapon, Starcaller's Watch. This weapon has a 542 base ATK and offers plus 264.6 elemental mastery. What's really special about this weapon is its passive, which increases elemental mastery even further and triggers the scrutiny effect when Citlali creates a shield. This effect increases the damage dealt to enemies within a close range by up to 48% for 10 seconds. Starcaller's Watch synergizes perfectly with Citlali's playstyle, allowing her to boost both her own damage and the damage of nearby allies. So that's a wrap on our deep dive into Citlali's beta kit leaks from the upcoming 5.3 update. I'm really excited to see how she'll perform in-game, especially with her focus on elemental mastery and AoE Cryo DMG. If you love building teams around reactions like Frozen and Melt, Citlali is definitely going to be a must-pull. Let me know in the comments what you think of her kit, and if you're planning on pulling for her when she's released. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest Genshin Impact leaks and news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.